My name is Maya Hindson, and this is the Step Over podcast.
We're chatting with a very exciting young player from Ottawa who had a big year in 2023, joining the academy of a little team, middle of nowhere, very obscure. It's called Arsenal. I've been told they're pretty good. And now, Maya, I'm going to ask for the good listener, would you mind giving us your full name, your age, and the position that you play?
It's Maya Hindson. I'm 17, and right now I'm playing holding mid, but I'm pretty versatile. Like I play different positions in the midfield as well. So yeah.
Fantastic. And I'll be honest, I'm not sure when exactly this chat will go live, but we're talking on New Year's Day. And if you're someone listening to this way in the future, we're talking on New Year's Day 2024. This is the beauty of a podcast. Like in 10 years, when you're a huge star, people can come back and listen to this and find out like what Maya Hinson's favorite pregame meal was um, at the age of 17. So, which is something I'll ask later. No, I'll ask that now. Maya, what's your favorite pregame meal?
I think probably this. It's so basic, but just pasta. I just go with the good pasta.
Love it. Love it. Absolutely. Classic. So Maya, it's really great to meet you. So you're back in Ottawa for the holidays. It's
Yeah,
New Year's Day. How was your New Year's Eve?
it was good. It was very chill. I was just hanging out with my friends, and we went to like a little Lebanese place, and we got ice cream. So that was really fun. And then I came back to me and my sister have a little tradition where like we spend the countdown together and we just like spend time together. So I came back right before the countdown and spent time with my sister and I ended up just walking the dog. Like it was very just a chill day. Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Right on. So are there things that you were really excited to come back to Ottawa to do or people that you really wanted to see?
Yeah. So like I was missing my friends a lot in England because online school is tough and like being in a new environment and stuff. So it was nice to see them after 6 months. And I've just been excited to come back and like train with my friends and stuff and the people that like I trained with before I left. And it's been really, really good. And just to see my family and spend time with my family. So I gotta speak.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people would hear about you as a soccer player, but you're still a student. How is that working? Like you said that you're doing school online. Like, is that through like Ontario schools or how does that work?
Yeah, so it's with the Ontario School Board and I'm still connected to my school in the Nepean High School, but it's fully like remote. So it's like online every day and it's asynchronous. So a lot of it is like the coursework that I do on my own and it's like not meetings with teachers and stuff. And then by the end of the year though, I'll be able to graduate with my school because come back for graduation. So that would be cool. And I'll spend
Oh,
time
that's
like
awesome.
with stuff. Yeah, yeah, I'm really excited for that. But no, it has been tough, like doing online school. Like it's not like COVID online school. It's like it's pretty difficult because it's very like it works a lot on your like you have to stay motivated all the time and organize yourself. So I think it's been really good to prepare for uni to be fair. But yeah.
Okay. So something I ask all my guests, first is just simply, how did you first get into soccer?
Oh, okay, that's a good question. So the first time like I kind of fell in love with football and started playing football was the 2012 Olympics, where Canada, like the women's football, I got to watch like the Canada women play Sweden, and I think it was like the quarterfinal of the Olympics. And I saw like Christine Sinclair play, and I saw like that legendary squad with Diana Matheson and like Aaron McLeod in goal and stuff. And like I went to that game and I just like fell in love. Like after that, I was like obsessed ever since I saw it because I was like, just like I'm Canadian and I lived in England because it was in London, right? So
Oh, so you were
we got
at the game.
yeah,
Oh
so
my
I
God.
actually
Oh,
watched the
that's
game and yeah,
incredible.
it was incredible. It was like still like the best football experience of my life. Like I still look back and I was like buzzing when I saw it, but it was at St. James Park as well, it's like where Newcastle United play. So it was a
Mhm.
huge stadium and they played and they won it or they tied against Sweden, but that meant they got to move on to the next round. And yeah, that memory I always look back on because that's like where it all started and where I fell in love with football and like got to see women play football because I didn't really know that before and just like that representation, yeah, that's what like made me fall in love with the game. So
I mean, that's incredible. Like, that game inspired so many people who just watched it on TV, but you got to you were
yeah,
at the game. That's
I was very
amazing.
privileged to be there. I think I was seven as well, seven, eight. And that's when I started playing as well. So
What a perfect age to get hooked.
yeah.
Okay, so you were living in England. Like what club over there were you playing? Like did you kind of start playing with?
So I didn't actually play for a club in England. I just like played in the schoolyard and like
Okay.
everywhere. Like my mom used to joke around because I had a ball like everywhere. Like I just literally just kick a ball, would walk to school, kick a ball, come home, kick a ball. Like I was just like literally hooked after that game. So I didn't get to play for a club, but I was just playing like pickup at the park and pickup at school and just playing whenever I could. So it
Okay.
wasn't until I moved to Canada that I joined my first club.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was your first club then?
It was Erin Mill Eagles. I don't
Okay.
know if it's in Toronto. So I moved to Mississauga before I moved to Ottawa. And then I joined Erin Mill Eagles. And that was like my first team. But yeah, good memories from that.
And like as you kind of got into soccer, got into football. I know as you're calling it football. I'll also I'll
I
switch.
I probably switched the words up to be fair.
Um did you have like a favorite player or like a favorite team?
Yeah. So like I said, like I was obsessed with the Canadian national team and my favorite player was Sinclair. And yeah, that she was like my idol. She still is my idol. Like the other day when she retired, I was like, oh, it was
Were you okay? Were there tears?
no, there were many tears. There were many tears. There were, but yeah, I think she's inspired so many young Canadian players. So yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. As you got obsessed with soccer, like if you weren't in school and you weren't playing in soccer, what would you be most likely to be doing as you were growing up? Like,
Oh,
did you have any other obsessions?
that's a good question. I don't know, to be fair. I played hockey, but everyone knew me on the hockey team as like the soccer player. But no, probably I guess ice hockey. Because when I came to Canada, like I started playing ice hockey. So I think if soccer wasn't a part of my life, I'd still be doing that. But
Okay.
it's hard to picture. I'm like back. But
I know she called it ice hockey. That really is a sign that you spent a lot of time in England. You split your life, I guess, living between England and Canada. Like how many years have you lived over there?
yeah, so I was born in England and I was until I was like seven, eight, I think is when we moved to Canada.
Okay.
But and then I've lived in Canada since then until I was 16. Like
Okay.
when I moved, I was 16. Well, was I 17? It was like 16, 17. It was like around my birthday when we moved back. So it was just like 6 months ago. So since then, I've just like, I guess my accent's coming back a bit. A few people have mentioned like my accent's coming back, but some of the words I'm using is changing. So I don't know. It's like, it depends on the person, to be fair. My coach always thinks I'm faking an accent, which I'm not. But yeah, a lot of the words that I used had to change when I went to England because people were like, what is that girl saying? But
So I'm gonna say like I do hear it, but what I'm gonna tell you is how I what I hear when I hear someone whose accent is like in between. I just hear it as being like, oh, they're very worldly. You know, they've lived in different places. So just lean into that.
that's such a compliment. That's cool. I take that over me people thinking I'm faking an accent. So
There you go. There you go. So you're only 17, but you've had a lot of neat experiences by the sounds of it so far. You're with Arsenal Academy now. But could you tell us a little bit about your career, maybe up to before joining Arsenal?
yeah, for sure. So in Ottawa, I played for a team called Pichuro with Sanjeev and Jed were my coaches, like as I was progressing as I am progressing as a player. But I think most of like my like success has become like from the past 2, 3 years because like always I've worked really hard when I've played and I've got the opportunity to train with boys, which I think was very like key in my development and train with like older girls. I've always been surrounded by like older teams that I've been able to like learn from and push myself even when I was like a younger player. So I think that's very important. And then as for like how like I'm getting to where I'm going and stuff, it was just been a crazy few years because I've kind of just had my head down and kept working, and that's still what I plan on doing. But when I first started getting noticed by I think like more people in Ottawa was after the FTF showcase because I was invited to an FTF top 60 showcase because like my coach recommended me for it to Marcus, who's the guy at FTF, and I ended up going. And I missed one of my women's prem games, so I was like kind of upset about that, but I was really like excited to go and get to like showcase like myself, I guess, because I haven't really had that platform before. So at FTF, I ended up doing really good, and there was so many talented girls at FTF as well. So I thought it was really cool to be able to play against players like that. But yeah, and then I ended up getting noticed quite a bit there, and I won MVP, which was really cool because, like I said, there was a lot of really good girls there that I got to play with and got to meet from all around Canada. So I won the MVP there, and then that's when people started being like, "Oh, like she kind of popped out of nowhere, like who, like who's this person?" So I got some recognition, which was cool. But and then I went home, kept working with the older teams and the boys teams and stuff, just kept training at my club. And we ended up having a coach from Real Madrid come to our club, which is like really wild when I say it now. But David Asnar used to be the coach of Real Madrid women, and he came to our club to coach my team for a few months. I think it was like 4 months. So I got the opportunity to like work under him and be coached by him. And then I also think one thing that was really key that I want to mention is my coach, Jed Davies. Like he was always very invested in my development as a player because I was working really hard at my club and he noticed that. And he put me in a position called inverted fullback, which is like a fullback that shifts into a holding mid position when we have possession. And I think it was like it highlighted me as a player really good. And I learned a lot from that position. And playing on a team in women's prem with like players like we trained with like Miranda Smith and Kat DeLev was on that team and Sadie Sider and so many very, very talented girls that I like had the opportunity to like learn a lot from. Anyway, back to what I was saying before. So David Asma came and he coached us. And then he ended up inviting me to Madrid to play with a few teams and train with some professional teams in Madrid, which was really cool because I got to like learn about the Spanish style of football, which it's very unique and the culture there is it's brilliant. But when I was in Madrid, I ended up doing really well. And I got to train with CFF Madrid and Rayo Vallecano and also Olympia, which is a third division team, but they're very incredible. They're all a whole women's like team. Every team in Olympia is a women's team, and they
Oh,
just got promoted. Yeah, it's really cool, and they got promoted to the second division in Spain now. So that was really really cool experience, and I ended up doing really well. And my coach kind of saw that I did well there, and he had a lot of faith in me at that. And then I think that's when like more opportunities came, and my parents ended up planning on moving back to England. So we had to like figure out what was going to happen with my football. And when we were like discussing teams and stuff, that's when my coach put me forward for like the Arsenal trial because he had connections at Arsenal. So I had a 2 week trial before like we moved, and I ended up doing pretty good. So they offered me a spot for this season for the academy, which it's been like an honor to be able to learn and like develop myself as a player there for this year. Good and cool.
well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so not many people who, I mean, not many people in general, but especially people, who grew up playing sport in Canada get to experience what that academy experience is like. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit about, like what an average day is like for you.
Yeah, for sure. So I usually get up early and start school, like just a regular school day kind of thing. I wake up around, are we going straight into the times and stuff?
Oh,
But
whatever you want.
I'll go a bit briefer, but pretty much wake
You
up
can be as
around
detailed as you like.
go through the daily schedule bit by bit. No, but
At 10:05, I do this. At 10:15,
brush my teeth. No.
yeah.
But wake up around 9, like the same time as a regular school day and start my work and just try and get as much done. And then train like as for training, like I'll train a bit on my own before training because I like to get touches before training and work on like more technical things that I can do like individually. So for example, like one thing I'm working right now individually is like receiving in tighter spaces. So I'll usually go down just to the parking lot under the flat I'm living in and like hit it off the wall and work on like back foot receiving stuff. And then I'll go into training at probably around 5. And we Monday and Tuesday we have 2 hour sessions. So it's starts with like a very like in-depth warm-up, and then we'll do our training and stuff, which lasts the training lasts 2 hours. So the warm-up is before the 2 hours. So we have like the whole time to be able to play and work on very game specific stuff, which I think has been key in my development, like since I've been there, because I've got to learn a lot tactically, which has been very good. And then on Tuesday, we have a classroom session as well because our game days are on Wednesday. So we'll go in early and do like a classroom session that goes through the game model or the game we're playing the next day. And it goes through like lineups, starting lineups, and things like that. So we'll do that, and then we'll train. And then the training the day before the game is more like relaxed, and we'll do more very like very, very game specific and situational stuff. And then game day, we go in, I want to say 2 hours before the game, and we just have a team talk. Then we get ready, and then we obviously have warm up, and then we have like the pre-game team talk, and then like then the game, which is fun. And then after that, we have a day off, and I'm going through the weekly schedule, not the daily schedule. I just
Oh,
realized,
that's
but
okay.
yeah, okay.
I
So
bet
the
there's
week,
people who like would love to hear all this and like what that's like in practice.
okay,
I think it's neat. So
I'm gonna be more detailed now. But um, Fridays we have four 4 hours in the training, and the girls they have something called like day leave where they get a day off school to come and train, and we'll have like a 2 hour session and then classroom session and then a gym session. So it kind of lasts the whole day. So we're in like the college for the whole day doing our training in our classroom and the gym work is really like specific and it's good because there's so many different coaches. So we have coaches for gym and like our head coach and assistant coach run classroom and training with another coach who's our IDP coach, George Wells, who's very good. And then on Saturday, it's the same model as Friday. So we go in the morning and we have it all done by 12 pretty much. So it's like 8, 9-ish to 12. And that's the same thing where we have a 2 hour session and then classroom and gym. And then Sunday we have a day off again. But a lot on the day off, they like suggest we work on different things. So one thing that I'm also working on right now is just like trying to get my speed up and my max speed up. So on that Sunday, I'll work on like sprints and like technical work.
okay. Um, so Arsenal has so many like amazing players, like like on the first team, Beth Mead, Vivienne Miedema, like
Mhm.
Leah Williamson, Chloe Lacasse is there now. Um, are there ever like any opportunities to learn from them in like any way, or is the first team kind of fairly separated from the academy?
Yeah, so this year particularly, it's been a lot, we've been a lot closer to the, like interacting with the first team and
Oh
things
yeah?
like yeah, so for preseason, I got to go in and train with the first team along with some of my teammates in the like under 21s in the academy. So I got to go into London Colney and train with the first. It was a week after I arrived. I was freaking out. Like I arrived and then like I had a week of training and then it was like, oh, by the way, like you have preseason training now with the first team to just like go in and see how it is. And it's like it was because the World Cup was happening, so they were missing a lot of players, but there was still like 6, 7 first team players there. So me and I think I think there was 8 or 9 of us in the end, but 8 or 9 of us went in and we got to train and meet some players, which is yeah, it was incredible experience. It was like I can't even describe it. It was like I still like am starstruck by the people I've met in those days that I got to train there. Yeah.
Wow. That's yeah, that's an incredible experience by the sounds of it. That's
Yeah,
wild.
it was I was just very blessed to be able to like to do I love and to like learn more from those role models. So
Fantastic.
yeah.
Um, and being with Arsenal means living in one of the world's great cities, London.
Mm.
I'm quite fond of London. I've actually lived there for a year. Had you lived there before, or is this your first time living in London?
born and raised in Newcastle, which is really up north. And my teammates joke about it because they sound nothing like a Geordie because their accents are pretty wicked. But I was born and raised in Newcastle, which is like close to Scotland. So it's very, very North England. And yeah, so I was raised there, and it's a lot different from London because like my mom always talks about how different the people are and how like the interactions are so different. And the north there's a lot less people than in the south of England. So London, it's been a super cool experience because we live in a borough just outside of London called St. Albans. It's a really beautiful town, and there's a lot of like old buildings and things like that. And it's only like a 20-minute train ride to London. So being that close to like such a big city, it's been really cool to like just visit London and look around and stuff because it's like London is such a cool city. Like you mentioned you've been there. It's like it's hard to describe because there's so many different things. There's like so much going on.
It's
So
like a whole
being
bunch of
around
different cities just like clumped
that's
together.
a quick way to describe it. It's so many different cities just whoop all together. And yeah, I really love the football culture in London as well because you can always find a pickup game, which has been really cool since I've been there.
Well, yeah, that's one thing that like the soccer cages and stuff is such a
Mm.
well, like it's a thing there. It's not in Ottawa. It like is that something that you do in your spare time?
Yeah. So my teammates found it funny because I live in St. Albans and St. Albans there isn't really like pickup and stuff. But like a few weeks after I arrived, I just went to like I searched up like football pickup in London and I like trained there. And yeah, I just it's been really cool because I've got to like meet some people as well in that like in pickup situations because like when you're doing online school, it's kind of hard to meet people because you're on your own a lot and doing your schoolwork and stuff. So football's been a great way to meet people too in pickup and just like in the cages. It's called Power League. It's like the pickup league in London that has a lot of like the cages and the things you see on TV where it's the English pickup stuff. So yeah, no, it's been really cool. And I've been with one of my friends as well on the team to just go and train and she showed me around North London area, which yeah, really like it.
And yeah, so you live there, so you're not a tourist, but like have you had a chance to do any touristy things, the Shard and the Eye and Tower and all that?
Yeah, so me and my mom, when we arrived, because my mom's with me, so when we got here, we just went into London, just walked around, and we got to see like the Big Ben and the Buckingham Palace and like the London Eye and things like that, which was cool because like I said, I lived in the north, so I didn't go to London very often. I think I went like once when I was younger, but also one thing that I love about London is the parks, like Regent's Park and St. James Park. They have like the most beautiful parks in the middle of the city where you wouldn't expect them to be. So yeah, I think that was my favorite part of London. It's like there's so many like hidden spots that you can find and it feels like so quiet in such a like busy city. So yeah, I think that's what I love most about that city. It's a lot of cool
What's your
spots.
what's your favorite like hidden gem about London? For anyone who like if they're gonna go this year, what's like a good hidden gem there?
Oh, wait, I need to think. I forget the name of it, but there's one street, and I'll tell you after the interview when I find it, and then maybe you can like post it. But I completely forget the name. But in the middle of like it's in Soho, which is like an area in London that has a lot of like shops and restaurants, and it's very like modern and stuff. And then you walk, and there's like alleyways. So London has a lot of like alleyways, but there's one alleyway where you walk, and it's like all colorful, and there's lights everywhere, and there's a bunch of like little shops and stuff. And
Is
I
that
think also
Carnaby Street?
it's like more low key than Carnaby Street, but
It's
it's
more
pretty
low
much
key. Okay.
yeah, but it's like a low key version of Carnaby Street. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, but it's really Carnaby Street's really cool. I like how you know that. That's a really cool area too. And I also love Camden. Camden is like
And like the markets there?
the markets in Camden. That's very well known, but I just forgot about Camden. I got to go there with my mom when I had my trial actually, because we stopped in London when I was like in I think it was March I had my trial, but when I was on my trial, we went into London and she took me straight to Camden. And it was like the coolest experience because that's where like Amy Winehouse is from and stuff. So yeah, like Camden.
So like right now I'm Googling Soho Colorful Street.
One way to do it. Let me check my
Yeah.
phone. I probably have it somewhere. Something court.
Something court, that rings a bell. I might have to abandon this. Okay, well,
Colorful
we'll
cohort.
find out at some point. Well, Maya, we're running out of time, but it's been fantastic to chat with you. I just have a few quick questions for you, if you don't mind, before I let you go.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, perfect. What's your favorite sport besides soccer?
Hockey or basketball, because I really do love playing basketball. I'm not very good there.
Okay. What's the best soccer field to play on in Ottawa?
Okay. So turf field, Julian de Guzman, and then for grass field, I like Shepherd Park.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Who has had the biggest impact on your career so far?
Jed Davies and Sanjeev Pal, my two coaches at Future. Oh, also
Uh,
James Vilbert, the coach before Future.
who is the best player you've ever been on a pitch with?
In Ottawa or just in general?
Oh, in general.
Kim Little I got to play with, which was incredible because she's a bowler.
What's the better halftime snack, oranges or watermelon?
Ooh, bring back halftime snacks. Probably watermelon.
Do you not get halftime snacks anymore?
Like
Come
we get
on.
like bananas, but they don't give us watermelon. That's
Oh,
like
come
the
on.
best
Come
fruit.
on. Come on, Arsenal. What's the last TV show or movie that you watched?
Good question. Oh, Modern Family with my sister. That's our show. Yeah.
Classic, classic. What's a fact about you or an interest of yours that most people wouldn't know about you?
Hmm. That's a good question. I love to read. I feel like a lot of people who know me know that about me, but yeah, I love to read.
Any like genre in particular?
I love all genres, that's the thing. But my dad put me on like kind of he is into like poetry and stuff. So like I kind of also like poetry too, but I also like fiction and like biographies and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've given me time out of your day to chat, and I really sincerely appreciate it. So my last question is if you could interview one player from Arsenal's first team,
Hmm.
either men or women, who would it be?
That's such a tough question. Can it be one man and one woman?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Uh, I think or Odegaard for the men, because
Okay.
yeah, probably Odegaard, and then for the women's side, hmm, I'm between two, because probably Kim Little, just because I think the way she plays is incredible. But like, gotta go for the Canadian as well, Chloe Lacasse. I think it'd be super cool to talk to her. So
All of them ballers,
ah,
all of them.
well, just all of them.
Awesome. Well, that's all the questions I have for you, Maya. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Happy New Year again.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Thank you for having me.
And yeah, we'll do this again sometime. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Step Over podcast. Please follow the pod wherever you get your podcasts. It really helps the show, and you'd be doing me a big favor. It also makes sure that you know right away when new episodes go up. Sometimes there's, a few weeks, maybe a few months between episodes, and sometimes the juices are flowing, and you'll hear me with more regularity. And either way, you'll be the first to know when there's a new episode when you subscribe. And until next time, we'll see you.